Hello and welcome to the Stephen Leeson Show, here with you live from the Scientology Community Centre in Dublin. And tonight we have a unique act with an equally unique backstory, and it began in 2001 with Fergus Foran. At the age of 29, he signed a record and publishing deal with Ceol Music. However, shortly after, he was diagnosed with late-stage cancer, and his next 15 years were spent undergoing surgery. During that time, he developed his debut album into a stage musical entitled Most Peculiar Dreams. And Fergus is going to tell us more about that a bit later. The show has attracted the involvement of some of Ireland's finest talents, such as Irish composer and musician Martin O'Leary as musical director, Red Dream Film Productions, and Ashlea Noonan on set design and costume. That's just to name but a few. This resulted in the making of a 20-minute promotional video, and the show premieres on March 19th, 2020 at the venue Ratoath. And then they'll be on a 6-month tour across Ireland. Fergus is joined tonight by singers Charles Cavanagh, Juliet and Lucy McCrann, and also musical director Martin O'Leary and assistant director Ailbhe Kehoe. The show's Sycamore Club House Bands, who are Noel Cavanagh, Adam McGrath, David Meaney and Toby Muller. Folks, let's hear it from Fergus Foran's Most Peculiar Dreams.
Audience loves me, pretty girls hug me. That's right, ladies, I am a superstar. Thanks for the flowers, I'm waiting for hours. My room number's 1311, and my eyes rapidly moved. Now form a straight line, there's plenty of wine, and pick-me-ups, vodkas and brandy. French champagne, Irish whiskey, come back again soon if you miss me. And my eyes rapidly moved. Went to a lawful place, strange sort of eerie place. All of my old simple dreams came to mind. To my great annoyance, that stood in defiance, the devils and demons had all gone to waste. We sat and told stories of all his past glories, and when he went golfing with God, and my eyes rapidly moved. I live on an island with all these fine women. They cook and they iron and they wash for me. I can't find those flowers, been searching for hours. Now my girl is waiting outside the door, and my eyes rapidly moved. Candy floss, popcorn, and went on the dodgems that moved so fast I thought I'd won the race. I see Henrietta with some other fella. She's mine, pal, now get your hands off of her. And my eyes rapidly moved. Went to an awful place, strange, sort of eerie place. All of my old simple deeds came to mind. To my great annoyance, then stood in defiance, the devils and demons and souls gone to waste. We sat and told stories of all his past glories, and when he went golfing with God, and my eyes rapidly moved.
There we have it, folks. What about it? A great start to the evening, and I've been really looking forward to this particular show myself. And I'm also looking to find out about the backstory that I said about Fergus, and he's here beside me. Thank you for joining me.
Hello, Stephen, and thanks for having us on. Thanks for throwing your doors open to us. It's a real privilege to perform live here, given recent setbacks that we've had. So thanks very much for having us.
Yeah, no, I tell you, it's an absolute pleasure to have you, and so many is like, you know, it's my first time genuinely seeing it. I'd just seen a couple of clips or whatever when I was researching you, like, you know, but it's brilliant. It's a great show to put together. Tell us a little bit about how you came about this show and the idea behind it. And tell me everything.
Brilliant. Okay. Well, there's a big hook going to pull me off the stage if I go on.
No.
So, really, as you said in your introduction, when I was 29 years of age, I had signed a publishing deal and a record deal with Ceol Music. So I was just on the brink of, you know, getting really stuck into the music business and releasing my first album. And unfortunately, shortly after my 29th birthday, I was diagnosed with late-stage bowel cancer, which had spread, unfortunately. And it was a massive, obviously, shock to the system. And I remember being called in, and my mum and dad were invited in to come in and support me as well in Blanchardstown Hospital. And was pretty much told, you know, get your affairs in order. Chances are you're not going to be around here next year. So that was a huge shock, obviously, at the time. So there followed then years on and off of surgery and treatment, chemotherapy.
When you said it was like late stage, so there was no symptoms, or you weren't feeling it before?
Not really. And I looked very fit and healthy for all intents and purpose. And just it was just one of those things. I suddenly started to feel unwell, went into the hospital, and was examined, and that was it. You know, it was just panic stations. Needed surgery fairly soon on, straight into chemotherapy, and kind of, you know, just got on with it, I suppose. You know, and one of the things, and I remember I heard. One of the guys from Dunbelievable was saying it before. I don't think it was Pat Short. I think it was the other chap, John, who had throat cancer. I think it was esophageal cancer. But he said that when you recover from cancer, it's then what do I do now? Because your life is kind of not dying pretty much. You're trying to do everything you can to battle this thing that's landed on you, you know. So in that regard, that was something I found a bit of a challenge as well. So obviously, with things being what they were, the album didn't go ahead. We did get a chance to record a choral album on that label later on, but it wasn't me, it wasn't my own stuff. So what I did was, over that period of time, I had lots of time to think. I was in hospital a lot. So I decided to develop what was to be my debut album into Most Peculiar Dreams, the show.
Was that the name of the original album?
The original album was Most Peculiar Dreams.
Oh, it was, okay.
Yeah, and I can still see it vividly in my mind's eye. The cover of the album and everything was good to go. And the producer of the album and sound engineer at the time was Darragh Winston of Beach Park Studios. And 20 years later, pretty much to the month, if not to the day, we went back in and recorded the album soundtrack for the show. So we kind of came full circle with that, with Darragh Winston and Beach Park Studio. So that was very nice to kind of bring the whole thing full circle, you know.
15 years?
On and off. So, and when I say 15 years, you're not literally every day in treatment, but you would find that, you know, there are ongoing complications. And I think it's something people don't realise, or who aren't related to somebody who has fought cancer, is that there are all these other things that go along. If you get bits cut out of you because they're to save your life, then that means that, you know, they have to heal, and that takes time to heal.
Yeah.
It will require further interventions. So in that sense, those 15 years, there wasn't a time when I went 2 years without a surgical intervention or some kind of intervention. And since 2015, I've been lucky not to have any surgery or otherwise, although I've had my normal scans and investigations and stuff like that. But they keep a very good eye on you. You know, and the oncology team in Connolly Hospital in Beaumont, and prior to that in St. Luke's Hospital, they do such great work, and they're such amazing people, and they kind of keep you going through it all, you know.
It's just lately, even in the media and different things that happen, it must be hitting a nerve with you, like even watching the toy show the other night, and there was the young guy ringing the bell and all that, and you can relate to that.
And that kind of stuff. I mean, I'll never forget when I was having chemotherapy. And two funny incidents happened there. One of them was, there was this old man who used to come and chat to me every time I was having chemo, and he thought I was the security man, and he didn't realise until he was going, because he was saying goodbye to me, and he was saying, oh yeah, they're sending me home today. And they were sending him home to die. There was nothing else they could do. And I said, look, it's been a real pleasure meeting you. You great old crack, you know. And he says, how long are you working here? And I said, oh, I'm not working here. He says, I thought you were the security man. And I said, no, I'm next in line to you. I'm going in for my treatment as well. And there was another little boy I met who had a brain tumour and had 3 different operations with that. And you know, it was such an uplifting thing, counterintuitive as it might sound, that when you meet a child who has a serious illness, their attitude towards it was amazing. It gave me a lift, and I almost said, like, why am I feeling so sorry for myself when this kid is coming in here, sitting beside me and cheering me up, you know? So it just gives you a completely different perspective on life. And you don't sweat you don't sweat the small things or the big things as much anymore, you know.
It's as I said, it's certainly life changing, and no doubt about it. Anyway, and sure, even but it's great, some of the good things that have come out, which is great. Like, even you were at one of the shows here that we had for the Pink Tie event here, which was also for the Pink Tie.
Absolutely. And to see a change choir, my friend Ian Brabazon is musical director of that. And actually, an interesting story about Ian, Martin and myself, Martin, our musical director, is that when I came out of hospital, I had written a song while I was in hospital first time around called Gently Abide. And it was meant as a memorial to me, because I thought I'd be dead within the year, for my dad and for my mum as well. But how we recorded that was, it was in the rented house I lived in at the time, and we sellotaped a microphone onto a sweeping brush. Martin held that. Martin played the piano, and Ian held the microphone under my chin, and we recorded it. And that recording is still knocking around today, and I actually played it at my dad's funeral. God rest him, he's 11 years dead now. But I thought it was a nice thing to do, because I had written it for him to remember me, and there I was, outliving him.
Was this in the first year?
No, this was years after. But in the first year we recorded the song. Just as I was out of hospital, and we said we better record this because I'll die. So if I die, we won't get to record it. So it's nice to look back at it now and say, here I am. You know, I'm fit. I'm healthy. You know, I take medication still to keep me sound. But you know, I take the dog for a walk. I held down a good job. I've run my own business, and all these things. They kind of give you that focus, and they give you a different perspective. I think that a lot of people get when they're seriously ill, you know.
So the beginning of the vision of what you're creating now with this musical is happening.
It happened, yeah. And you know, it's funny, because when you're undergoing treatment, particularly for pain, they give you a lot of morphine. And I used to have these shadows coming out of the wall to speak to me and stuff. And it's bizarre stuff. And at the time, it's kind of normal. You kind of go, yeah, oh, look, it's just medication. But a few of these songs, Most Peculiar Dreams, for example, that was kind of, we looked at that again during the workshops and refashioned that. But a lot of the songs that you'll hear in the show came from the pain, first of all, of being in that situation, but also in the pain management medication that you find yourself on, that you kind of see things and hear things. And I think one of the things, if I may say as well, is that the show is about fate and destiny. And really, at the crux of the show, the whole thing is you can meet somebody who can change your life. It might just be a small meeting that might delay you on your way into an interview, and you mightn't get the interview and you might end up working at something else, or somebody might ask you the time, you might stop to tell them, and then somebody else walks out on the walkway and gets run over. It's very much reflecting on our destiny and how these small interactions with people can point us in a different direction and change our lives completely. Or you can meet somebody. And
the what if?
Almost, the what if. They put you on a different path, or they put you pointed in a different direction. You meet people you wouldn't have otherwise met but for that interaction with those people. And I think that's a lot to do with what the show is, you know.
Tell us a little bit about tell us a bit about Martin O'Leary.
Okay, well, Martin O'Leary is, apart from being one of my closest friends, is also my daughter's godfather, Eleanor. And Martin's background, obviously he's a well-known composer internationally, he's a music lecturer, and has been doing that pretty much all his career. He's a graduate of Trinity, teaches in Maynooth University. And Martin and I, our friendship grew from music. I went to see one of his concerts in Maynooth University. We got together and recorded a choral album together. And from that, we just spent a lot of time together, became fast friends over a period of time. And when I was very ill, he was the guy that I would ring at 3 o'clock in the morning. He didn't always answer the phone, but he generally did. And when I was in the depths of despair, quite often it would be Martin that would be at the receiving end of a phone call, you know. And he was great. He's a mentor of mine. Delighted to call him my friend, and delighted that he's involved in this project, because without him, again, this is one of the many things to say, without this person, that person, this wouldn't have progressed to where it is. So Martin was correcting my homework when I was doing arrangements. He was kind of sending it back to me politely, and then decided, no, I'll take it on as musical director. And he's had a huge impact.
It's great to have that
on the show.
Strength there, like, you know.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
And also Eddie Brady.
Okay, so Eddie Brady is our director, who unfortunately can't make it tonight. So Eddie's background is in theatre. He's produced lots of shows. He's a well-known writer as well. His one-act show is touring at the moment with various groups. He really does get the best out of people from an acting point of view. He's a very kind of laid-back approach, very approachable guy. But by God, he gets results, and he was a huge help to me editing the script, as were KNC Performing Arts Company, Katie and Neve, twin sisters who run that in Newbridge, because I came in with this essay, this huge work, like about, I don't know, maybe 100 pages, and I said, look, there's about 6 shows in there. So without their guidance, I wouldn't have got the script down to what it was as well.
And just mention, like, just family in the band here as well, is there?
Yeah, so we've Charles Cavanagh, who is our lead singer tonight on some of the songs, and there's a bit of history here because his dad Noel is on trumpet, and I was with Noel in the Imperial Imps show band for 6 years, full-time, back in the day, back in the 90s. Now, the Imperial Imps were big in the 60s, but they reformed in the 90s. So obviously you can tell from my youthful visage that I wasn't one of the original members. But I learned so much from Noel. And Noel, again, is one of those musical mentors who can give you a little bit of guidance, point you in the right direction, tell you to stop acting the idiot if you are. And he was a great guy, and we became fast friends with him. Charles would have been a kid at the time when I would have known Noel, but it's nice to have the two of them here tonight.
You need to have a bit of both,
absolutely,
like, you know.
Yeah. And Charles has his own band, the Charles Cavanagh Band, who'd be well known around Dublin as well, and he's also a fantastic trumpet player. So he's on vocals tonight.
Look, I'm going to have you back to come over to me again. You're going to sing another few songs, if I'm right.
We will, yes. You can tell them what they are, because I've forgotten to run in order.
Okay, so we get it. I will. Well, take the stage again. We'll have you back over again. We'll find out a bit more about the show. Thanks very much for coming along. So, I do have a list of some of the songs that they're going to do. So the next, they're going to do another 3 songs. So we got Daddy, Can You Hear Me? Ballroom of Romance, and Henry's Song, and we'll have him back over, and one of the girls are going to come over with us too. So take the stage again, lads. Thanks very much.
Daddy, can you hear me?
right up to his chin. He likes that. Doctor, can you hear me? I'm right here beside you, my
From behind the curtain at the ballroom of romance, she sits in row 19, 12 rows from the back. He wonders if she's lonely, does she have a backstage pass, and why she always sits there behind that empty seat. The pillar, he hears that girl scream. She likes songs in 3/4 time, and she likes to dance. She'll only dance the one dance, the last dance all alone. Then she walks back to row 19, 12 rows from the back. Curtain, he hears that girl sing. She likes songs in 3/4 time at the ballroom of romance.
Lucy, I think we have, is it Henry's song we have now? I think. Yeah, there you go, Lucy McCrann.
We love our kids, 1, 2, and 3. As I sit here beneath my tree, I wonder what their names will be. We'll have 2 boys, a pretty girl. I can see them playing on the stairs with toys, cars, dolls, and teddy bears. Girls' ribbons match the dress she wears. Handsome John sits on the swing, gently swaying, sipping tea. What a perfect future I see. What a swell future for me. The night draws in, and still I think it's not too late for one last drink. Pull out a seat, let down my hair, wait up, show him how much I care. Handsome John is on the swing, gently swaying, sipping tea. What a perfect future I see. What a swell future for me. This tainted tea's no good for me. Should empty it all down the sink. Still simplicity will keep me up. I think I'll have just one last cup. I leave the door upon the latch. I leave his cup and cigarettes. He won't wake me when he gets in, but if he does, then I'll tell him. What a perfect future I see. What a swell future for me.
Super, absolutely beautiful music. We've got Lucy McCann began her musical theatre training at the age of 9 with the Newbridge Music School, and she's a graduate of the Royal Irish Academy of Music and is now in her final year at BIM. She auditioned for Most Peculiar Dreams in 2018 and is a regular contributor to the workshop. Lucy has recently returned home from a 2-month contract in Greece, performing as a soloist at the Palagos Suite Hotel. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Will you please welcome Fergus with Lucy McCrann. Lucy, absolutely, you're not the same person that I met a few minutes ago.
Excuse me. Hello,
You
how are you?
had a woolly hat and all. I'm like, oh, wow.
Good doll up there.
Unbelievable, brilliant. What a voice, like,
Oh,
yeah.
thank you.
I think you're right, Fergus, saying that you didn't bring the tear to a glass eye with the voice there, yeah?
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Tell us about yourself and how you got involved in this and what's your own kind of background. And
So I had been doing musical theatre exams. I was at musical theatre when I was younger in school. I found out about Fergus and this project through his sister. She was actually a teacher in my school, so she would kind of be involved in some choir-like activities. So I kind of got to know her through that, and then I think, she just mentioned it to me. And then I auditioned for Fergus, and that's how I got involved with this, 4 years ago, which was so long ago, but and then ever since, it's kind of like I've been here for most of it, but with different things like Greece and college, it's just kind of...
You've been heavily involved with workshops and things like that with it as well, is it?
Yeah, definitely. Like from the beginning, like I kind of got to see the songs when they were real raw and just at the very beginning, so it was really nice to kind of be involved in the creative process, and it's nice to see where the songs have evolved to. Definitely.
When you go from the very start to be able to now look back and say, look what we
really
created,
nice.
Creative process, You've been involved in music since you're 9 years of age, is that right?
Yeah, well, I've been singing for as long as I can remember, and then I started singing lessons when I was about 9, and then I was doing exams within that, and then I always wanted to pursue singing, so obviously got more serious about it then after school. I've been singing since then, my whole life. Well, kind of.
And you studied at the Royal Irish Academy?
Royal Irish Academy of Music was what I did my lessons in, and my exams. So I did that until senior certificate, and then I finished that, and then went on to BIM.
Tell us a bit about BIM, because I was asking you that earlier as well.
So BIM is a bit different. It's not musical theatre. It's commercial and modern music, which is another field that I'm very interested in. So I kind of wanted to explore, and I'm really liking that. I'm really liking the kind of, I have quite a soulful kind of pop sound to my voice, so I'm happily excelling in that area. But it's nice to have both fields, musical theatre and that. Hopefully in the future I'll probably go within both and see where it brings me.
Is it looking at modern music in every genre of music for
so that's kind of what their aim is, kind of make us adaptable to all different genres and styles. So we'd be covering a lot kind of throughout the whole year. We'd be focusing on different genres, we'd be going for R&B, 1 week might be doing R&B, so we'll learn all about the vocal traits and etc., and then perform, and and then we might go on to jazz or blues, or so it's giving us kind of ways to adapt to different genres and how to...
Did you have to give them a CV when you were doing the auditions? Or did you just spot the talent, Fergus? Tell us a little bit.
Well, you see,
you're highly trained,
The thing is with Lucy, I knew as soon as she sang, I can't even remember what you did for your audition, to be honest.
I think it was just I dreamed a dream.
Something like that, but it was there was a quality in Lucy's voice that we all kind of spotted straight away. We've worked with some amazing singers, Lucy among them, but Lucy has always been standout for me. And Lucy and I became and are still close friends. I mean, Lucy and I gigged together for a while as well in pubs and stuff like that.
Cool, okay.
It was, and it was a great experience for her, but it was brilliant for me as well, because, when I was gigging, I'd kind of do, your standard Billy Joel kind of stuff, piano bar stuff, but then suddenly I had Lucy, so it meant I didn't have to do half as much work.
He was raging.
Just get Lucy to sing these songs. She does Whitney Houston better than Whitney Houston did. She really is.
That's amazing. Not a compliment.
And look, check out some of Lucy's stuff.
I hope you can do the movement with the.
But we are, we're doing one of the other great pleasures of knowing Lucy and being friends with Lucy is that, she comes and stays in the house, and got to know my daughter as well, and she's a great role model for young women as well. And part of the show and within the show is putting that message out there as well, that and I think I told you briefly the story that I got, and Lucy I have 9 sisters, and I grew up, and I have 3 brothers as well, but I grew up with 9 sisters, and I found very much that when I became a teenager and went out to the world, I kind of said, maybe women aren't treated the way they're treated in our family. And I always wondered what was going on. And I think young women in particular sometimes don't get a fair shake. the stick when it comes to promotion and being promoted in shows. And this is very much, the show is very much a showcase for female vocalists and actors as well. And it's something we feel quite strongly about. And the characters are very strong. The female characters are very strong. And it's loosely based around the characters I grew up with, like my sisters. So there are characters there that some of them will say, oh, that's Anne, or oh, that's Rachel, or that's Mary, or whatever. But it gave me a good grounding. Having somebody like Lucy there, who was a strong young woman, very self-assured, very self-confident.
Did you send her to Greece?
No.
For 2 months?
No, I didn't.
Just to see what she was really like, to get to know her? Or get the word back and say, what's she like? I mean, under pressure.
But she's fantastic. I mean, look, we've performed loads of times together, and it's a real pleasure for now a fellow like me to have such a fantastic young singer working with as well. We did a demo tape of Lullaby, one of the songs, which Juliet is actually singing tonight. But that had a huge amount of hits on YouTube as well, and we've got some brilliant feedback on that song, and it's a very important song in it. So there I am talking again. So
tell us a little bit about Greece while we have you.
Yeah, Greece was amazing. It was such a good opportunity for me. It was just mainly what I was doing was singing for in this 5-star resort, so that was really nice. And among mainly a lot of dancers and some other singers as well. But by the end, it was kind of just me, so that was also great for me. Building stamina, etc. But yeah, it was just amazing to have kind of good experience on stage, and also kind of
was
getting...
it like a show in the hotel?
Yeah. But what was also like a weirdly good experience was like the audience sometimes, guests, then like sometimes that you wouldn't get the feedback you'd expect, or they wouldn't be as kind of encouraging or stuff. So it was a great experience in that sense as well. It really kind of builds your confidence, and like you get some great audience, and then other nights you will get some dead audiences. So in that aspect as well, it was great experience.
The real world when you're just playing to the public who might not necessarily be coming to see you, as in, or did they have to buy tickets in the hotel, or was it just?
No, it was part of the like entertainment. But yeah, and even getting feedback as well, like you were open to kind of criticism and things like that. So it really gave me kind of like a taste for the industry, especially working with dancers as well, and like some like really perfectionist kind of people. So like it really did give me a good taste for the industry. And then as well, just about like vocal health, and I just learned a lot about my own voice, and I'd be singing such a like vast range of like songs and genres that I found like what suited me. So it was a really good experience just for me, and then obviously the people were amazing, and yeah, it was a really, really good experience.
2 months to look after the voice, as I said to you earlier, with the partying and all that. It's got to happen, like, as I said, I lived in Lanzarote for 4 years, and it was, I can't remember most of it.
Yeah, I can remember. I could, but yeah, like that was a fun aspect too, I guess. Like, I guess while you're young, that's a big part of it as well, and I've made some really good friends, lifelong friends, and they're even here in Ireland visiting me now. So it was amazing.
Are you looking forward to going on the road now after doing that? Like after being in, it was great that you got to play live music again since all the things we went through with the pandemic. I'd say you're really looking forward to March, isn't it? March, you said, Fergus, wasn't it? March for the looking forward to getting on the road with this, like,
Yeah, 100%. I'm so excited to just get back out gigging, like, and with this especially as well, like. With college, obviously, that's my priority right now. So exams and everything is feeding into this year. So it's not. So a lot of what I would love to do isn't my priority right now. So obviously, this come up in March is one thing
of life.
that will help me get through all that others. And then, as well as that, next year I'm hoping to go to New York for a year. So that'll like create big opportunities. And even if it's just auditions or whatever, like it'll just be so nice to get back to reality.
Brilliant. Well, look, it was lovely to meet you, and thanks very much for coming on and hearing that voice as well. Like, Is going to do a few more, and then I'm going to get to meet Juliet, who's coming back out to talk to us again after. Yeah, so take the stage again, Fergus.
Thanks very much.
Thank you very much, Lucy. There we have it from Lucy. Lovely to meet her. And as I said, she was a different person. I met her earlier, and she had a woolly hat on her. Totally changed. And I'm really enjoying the show so far, folks. And I suppose in March I'll be getting a ticket myself, and I hope you do. So I'm going to leave it with Peculiar Dreams. There.
until the present is past. Lazy days, rock and roll evenings, vodka visions and wet Sunday nights. Take your time so everyone's sleeping when you make your heroes return. Sing along with the chorus, write in your verse if you please. Come back to me before the ending so we can remember the start. He thinks his poetry in motion, and he'll be worth a small fortune. He just wants someone for Saturday nights who can read vodka visions and understand flights of imaginary fancy he takes now and then. Listen to his stories all over again. Sometimes he feels he's stuck in the middle, coming from nowhere with nowhere to go. His traveling companions just weigh him down, leave that baggage behind. He thinks his poetry in motion, and he'll be worth a small fortune. He just wants someone for Sunday nights who can read vodka visions and understand flights of imaginary fancy he takes now and then. Listen to his stories all over again.
Sean, my beautiful son, envy of everyone, gifted and bright, born on a night, wild and incredibly mad. Said he was fading away, that he'd last a few days or a week at the best, and my heart in my chest nearly left me behind. But I knew we can rewrite our fate. Life's just a game. It's incredibly strange.
Apple of your mother's eye, and how everyone cried when we told them the news. The newest life's days had been numbered by fate. But I knew we can rewrite our fate. Life's just a game. It's incredibly strange.
That he calls himself John, and his family name's gone. He could be truly great if he'd get himself straight, kept his feet on the ground. But I knew we can rewrite our fate. Life's just a game. It's incredibly strange.
A cup of coffee and a smoke or two, that's all I have for you. Some lovin's overdue. I hope you don't mind, but the room is spinning. My drunken grinning might upset you. 'Cause I'm a nighttime drinker and a daytime thinker, and I'm born a lover with a naked head. And I'll say I love you if you tell me you like me, but I know you're gone till the afternoon. That's the way I am. That's the way I am. But that's the way I am, and I like you, girl, but that's the way I am. A gin, a tonic, and a cocoa too, all I have for you. My rent is overdue. I've got a bottle back in my bedroom. I have the notion that you might help me to consume. 'Cause I'm a nighttime drinker and a daytime thinker, and a morning lover with a naked head. And I'll say I love you if you tell me you like me, but I hope you're gone by the afternoon. That's the way I am. That's the way I am. Well, that's the way I am, and I like you, girl, but that's the way I am. What was I thinking? What was I drinking to say all the things that I said? You got me thinking about thinking of drinking, and now I do nothing at all without the benefits of alcohol. A charming story and a joke or two, all I offer you. I hope the rumor's true that you like poetry and sad songs too. And if I write you one, there's nothing you won't do. 'Cause I'm a nighttime drinker and a daytime thinker, and a morning lover with a naked head. And I'll say I love you if you tell me you like me, but I hope you're gone by the afternoon. That's the way I am. That's the way I am. That's the way I am, and I like you, girl, but that's the way I am.
So next we have 18-year-old Juliet Hill, and she's been involved with Most Peculiar Dreams since 2019, and she's already an accomplished singer and actress. Her repertoire includes West Side Story, Susical the Musical, Little Shop of Horrors, Into the Woods, Back to the 80s, Oliver, Translations, Macbeth and King Lear. And as a child she performed in The Cloak at the Wexford Opera House, and she was a member of the Gaiety School of Acting Young Performers Company. Please welcome Juliet Hill with show creator Fergus. Juliet, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
How are you? Good, yeah?
Fantastic. You made me sound fantastic.
It's gone great. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got involved here.
Well, I heard about it on, I think it was Facebook, about 2 years ago, 2019. And I saw that they were looking for cast members for Gracie Donnelly was the role that was being cast at the time, and the character description was 16 to 18, I think mezzo soprano or whatever it was. And I said, you know what, we'll give it a go. I sent in a CV and a headshot, I believe, and I heard back a few weeks later from Fergus and Co, and they just said that, yeah, could you come and audition? And then I was welcomed on board.
Where was the auditions actually? Where did you hold the auditions?
I think it was in the Cadine in Newbridge.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
Cadine Hotel.
Ah, nice.
And it was actually, if I remember correctly, it was KNC Performing Arts, Katie.
Yes, that was it.
Who would put you forward for it. Yeah. And you'd come up to the Cadine to.
Yeah, that was it.
audition. It was a workshop.
Yeah, you're right.
It was fantastic. Yeah, but Juliet was actually the first person to sing Poetry in Motion.
Oh, you were telling me about that. Yeah,
and
to look forward to.
I would have just have turned 16 at that time.
Just turned 16, and I don't know if I ever told you this, but I sent a recording of that song. We did it on the phone, and I sent it to a friend of mine over in the States, and she just sent me back a message going, please tell me that person is in their 40s and is a jazz singer, because my voice was just outstanding, you know. But sorry, that was...
That's a compliment
that's the way I heard it.
ever, wasn't it? Yeah.
I hadn't heard it before.
yeah, we were blown away by the performance, yeah.
Where are you from yourself, Julia?
I am from, well, I grew up between Kildare and Dublin. I have a lot of family in Kildare, so I kind of...
Okay.
I did a lot of...
There as well,
yeah.
Okay,
so I knew Katie and Neve through the Musical Society in Kildare Town, Lark, which I joined when I was about 9, and so I'd been doing shows with them ever since. Great fun, and then I sort of got a taste for it through that. So that's how I sort of got involved in the whole thing in the first place.
All the different shows that you've done, though, like it must be nothing to you then, is it?
Well, a lot of them have been. A lot of them were with the Musical Society in Kildare, and then a couple more, a few in school, and then I just sort of kept, once I started, I just didn't want to stop.
Have we done some of them through the lockdown as well?
I did the Irish Youth Musical Theatre, was set up during lockdown, and they were supposed to have this fantastic show going ahead, I think, for the summer that it was being run with workshops and everything, but obviously that couldn't go ahead because of lockdown. And so what they did instead was they had these online read-throughs, so you had to audition, and they gave you feedback on your audition, and then they cast you in a show. And the first one I was cast in, I actually missed. They sent an email, but my email, I had been locked out of my email account for a while, so I couldn't do the first one I was in. And so then I got another email in a few weeks and said, we're doing a read-through online of Big Fish the musical. We'd love if you could play the witch. And I said I would be absolutely delighted to. So it was great fun. It was a read-through of the show with, it was organised by Shamie Campbell, who was very heavily involved in Come From Away, the West End production, which I think started off in the Abbey in Dublin. I went to see it. It was fantastic. And so it was a really great experience to get to sort of talk to all these people and do the read-through of the show and kind of put something on while everyone was still in their bedrooms.
Yeah, it's different times have changed.
Yeah,
anyway.
exactly.
Well, over the last 2 years, anyway. But you're doing songs of this particular show tonight, obviously, like, you know. But there's obviously the whole story and the acting, is it completely musical? Is all singing the story?
No, it's very much acting, and that's again one of Juliet's really strong.
Well, I was thinking
she's a fantastic actor, and acting through song is, I think, one of your greatest strengths, that you really communicate the songs very well. But Juliet was probably and probably could play any role. So in March and for the tour in Ireland during the summer. She's going to be Henrietta Harman, but she's equally good at Mary Margaret McCarthy, and she has that comical twist in her acting as well. She can sing anything pretty much, but we were so impressed with her at such a young age to be so good at acting, singing, and she can dance as well. So well,
Yeah.
you can, compared to me, you can anyway.
You won't be
Thanks for not asking me to dance, by the way.
You would probably simmer to that way.
Yeah, I would have brought me hornpipes with but
Which kind of acting part do you prefer doing, or any particular character you like doing? Like you're a witch in one of them, like you're saying. What's your favourite type?
I like something with a bit of comedy sometimes. It's quite fun. But anything different that I haven't done before is always exciting. I particularly like the acting role for Mary Margaret McCarthy in this show is fantastic. Like she's a really strong character, which is nice to see for a female character. And Henrietta, though, is equally sort of perhaps more complex, but she doesn't have that sort of funny kick to her. So they're very different. So whatever you can have fun with.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
To be able to enjoy yourself while you're performing is the best job in the world, like, Tell us a little bit about the band I never asked you earlier, actually, as well. They're backing you.
I don't know. They were waiting in the car park on my way in, and they said, "Do you want a gig?" I said, "Yeah." So, I'm only joking. Of course, I know them all. So clarinet, we've David Meaney on trumpet, and also on euphonium on some of the album tracks. We have Adam McGrath. Noel Cavanagh, who I told you about, my old friend from the Imperial Imps show band days, and Toby Muller on drums. Toby's originally from Germany. These guys play in Dublin Concert Band as well, and we had the great pleasure of putting on a show with Dublin Concert Band to promote this show a couple of years ago as well in the Spa Hotel. And Dublin Concert Band are a great organisation to support people like us. Sometimes, and I've said it before, and I've discussed it with Juliet and the cast, sometimes people with the sharpest elbows get the most notice. And what we've tried to do is say, well, no, we'll let the music and the show speak for itself. And I think we found a great support network in other musicians and music groups who find that as well, which is why it's so important for us to get on shows like yours and for you to promote it. And we really are grateful for the support that you're giving us.
It's great for you to be on it. It's a pleasure to have met you and have you on it. I wanted to ask you, because I haven't asked you already as well. Because you were telling me something about like €45,000.
That was for the first couple of years. We've since spent another 20, so it's actually up to 65,000 now that we put into it of our own funds. Now we have had some investors, some small seed investors.
That's not putting your heart and soul into something.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. But sure, look, if you have to start somewhere, and quite often, I'm a great admirer of people like Michael Flatley, the producers of Riverdance as well. When you hear about people putting their own money into it and putting their lives on hold, this is a life's work from my perspective. So yes, of course you're going to invest money in it, and some of the partners and production team have invested in it as well. We're giving us investment in kind, so they're providing their services at a reduced price or free of charge. So we are talking to corporate clients as well. I'm from a corporate background myself, from a business background.
I don't think the thing about the music industry as well. Yeah. People are not really going to invest in something if you're not prepared to invest a little bit yourself as well,
exactly.
though, isn't it?
And quite often, that's the first question you're asked. Well, how much did you put into it?
Yeah.
Did you go hungry to put it on? If you run out of money, and they're kind of going, well, actually, yes.
No, I'm not taking a risk.
Yeah. And we know that, and we are talking to some great people. We've been doing an awful lot of background work. We have people volunteering in the background, because obviously all the money we have, we want to put it into the show, so we can't pay people a wage. But we have people who are volunteering, like I said, investment in kind, people who just want us to succeed. We had one family member of mine had a concert in her home, raised £1,000. Another one of my sisters had a bake sale, raised £400. Another sister who works in a different job, again, had a little fundraiser at work. And all these things are helping us to move the show forward all the time. The biggest thing for us and we'll all agree on this, is that if people don't buy tickets, then we don't have a show. So our tour dates are up on the website, but the most important thing for us is that we have a full house in the Venue Theatre on the 19th of March. So please get out there and buy the tickets.
Yeah, to come here, the website is where to get the tickets, is it?
Yeah, so you'll find all the tour dates on www.ffmusicproductions.com. So it's ffmusicproductions.com, or just Google Most Peculiar Dreams and you'll find it.
And did you say it was in a couple of weeks the tickets are going out on sale?
Yeah, so tickets are currently on sale for the premiere on the 19th of March, and in 2 weeks' time all the tickets are going on sale for the tour next year, which goes, we're doing 7 shows from April to July.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
You looking forward to it?
Can't wait.
Listen, lads, you're going to take the stage again, do another 3 songs. Looking forward to when the show goes live in reality as well, when you have an audience, like, and I say you are as well, like, you know. So listen, thanks a million to each and every one of you lads for coming along. It's been brilliant, and any more support, you're welcome back here anytime.
Thank you very much. Really
thanks.
appreciate
Go on,
it.
all right. See you, Stella. Thanks, Juliet, as well, all right. Okay, so they've got another 3 songs left. They've got a lullaby, Ballad of the King and Queen, and then they're going to finish off the finale of Sing Them an Old Irish Song. There's lots of people tuning in, lots of different pages. We'd also like to say Gary Rowlands is tuned in, also to Glasgow Irish Bands. They're sharing the page over there. It's been shared left, right and centre over here. Sharon O'Kelly's watching in there, and Genevieve Corey and Marie Brady, just to name a few people who are watching. Thank you very much, folks, and here they are again.
Sing me a lullaby, help me sleep before I die of tiredness or lunacy. Either one or both get me. This disorder pleases me. At least I won't miss World War III, or politicians at my door, or old friends calling round for tea. The universe teaches me lessons in humility. There's a long-held tradition of joint extradition between heaven and earth. With no one here to talk to me, I'll have my next epiphany. The shadows moving round the room don't belong to anyone. And if I did it all again, I would do it much the same. But maybe I'd get much more sleep and leave the stragglers at the door. The universe teaches me lessons in humility. There's a long-held tradition of joint extradition between heaven and earth.
the stars inside my mind. And if I fail to be the things I want to be, at least I'll know I tried. Told you what was on my mind.
Will you be for me the apple of my eye, my comfort late at night, my light when darkness falls? And if I fail to be the things I want to be, at least I'll know I tried to tell you what was on my mind. Maybe soon I'll meet a guy who looks and acts like you. Maybe then we'll take a chance, and then we'll find true love. Just like the story of a king and queen who lived in a castle on a far-off hill, and it said they live there still. Will you be for me a strong arm when I'm weak, a shoulder when I cry, my counsel when in doubt? And if you fail to be the things I want you to be, at least I'll know I tried to find my way at last.
Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in tonight, and thanks again to Stephen for having us. We're going to leave you tonight with a song that you can all sing along with at home if you want. It's called Old Irish Song. I hope you enjoy it.
Sing them an old Irish song, the ones that last far too long. Too many verses and throw in some curses, make sure their livelihood's sad. Ooh.
Make sure you play a few jigs. You'll always have plenty of gigs. Mention Kildare, Cork or Kerry and Clare. Make sure there's plenty to drink. Ooh.
Sing them an old Irish song, the ones that last far too long. Too many verses and throw in some curses, make sure they're lively but sad. Ooh.
Find yourself a sweet Colleen. Make sure she feels like a queen. Mention her hair
thank you very much for coming on the show, each and every single one of you. And do watch out for them, as I say, Most Peculiar Dreams. Folks, same time, same place next week. We've got Grace Foley, 7 o'clock. See you then. Thanks a million.